Hey yo guys, how you doing? You're here on Dutch Cushman TV and you're here live with the Cushman. I'm here at Flowline Studios with the Kid Smokey. So how you doing, my man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. So I hear that you're the next up and coming rapper out of Long Island. Is this so?
Let's go, man.
So what part of Long Island are you
Fucking
from?
around
I'm from Elmont.
From Elmont. Okay. Now you want to give us maybe a little bit of the rundown of how your neighborhood was, maybe where you came up from, things you had to deal with.
I mean, I guess it was just, to me it seemed like a regular neighborhood, probably because that's where I grew up, and it was, it was Elmont. It's just Elmont, like, I don't know, hung out at the park, had friends, we just, just regular neighborhood, I guess.
So enough of all of that, but when was the first time you think that you got into hip hop? Like, what was the first ever experience that brought you into the whole thing?
It was back when I was like, I always listened to hip hop and stuff when I was younger, but you mean like when I started like my own music, like when I started,
Like the first time you ever got introduced to hip hop and you were like, I enjoy this, I want to do
oh
this.
man, I don't even remember. I remember like so I was young. I remember being in the car with my mom and listening to like No Diggity by Dr. Dre and Blackstreet. Like and she would play it on the radio and stuff. I guess always since I always knew hip hop. I was introduced to it. As far back as I can remember.
Okay, and at what time do you think you started writing?
I was 9 years old.
And at 9 years old, what got you to get started?
I remember I went to a friend's house, my mother's friend's house, and there was somebody there who was rapping, and I thought it was like cool. You know what I mean? I thought it was cool. So I went home and I wrote my first rap, and I was 9 years old, and I actually even stole like 2 or 3 lines from the person who I had saw rapping, who earned my interest in hip hop.
Do you remember this man's name?
I don't remember his name. I don't remember where he's. I don't even know anything about him. I was young.
So Mystery Rapper was the man who got you.
Rapper, yeah.
If you could ever find Mystery Rapper, what would you say to him?
I would probably tell him that story. I would probably tell him that story because who knows if he even remembers that. I don't.
That's very true. So,
Yeah.
when was then the first, like, when you actually started putting down music? Because was it at 9 years old you started putting down music?
No. At nine, I wrote my first rap.
Okay. So 9 you got introduced into
Right,
it. You were
exactly.
like, all right, I want to do this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I didn't write another rhyme until I was in like about 7th grade because this kid who I used to hang out with all the time. He was my best friend at the time. His name is Nap.
Okay.
He had made like a CD, or I think he maybe even made like 2 or 3 CDs. And we were in 7th grade. He was in 8th grade, and I decided that I wanted to rap with him. So we made like a couple of CDs. And we were really just. It was a lot of parody rap. It was a lot of joking around. It was a lot of just regular kids smoking weed and writing rhymes, and that's how I had originally got my original name, which was Smokey Potts.
Really?
Yeah, and we did a few CDs together, and and then I don't know, we just kind of just stopped making music together. Yeah.
After that, were you done? Was there a break? Did you stop rapping?
No, I mean, I guess the whole reason we stopped making music together was because I started doing music with other people. This kid from my town, right?
Okay.
Perry, right? He always was rapping, and I used like look up to him. You know what I mean? Like I always wanted to spit. Like I thought he was like the illest. You know what I mean? And I still think he's the illest. I still do think he's the illest. He writes awesome lyrics and shit. and I started rapping with him. He had a group called Flowline Records.
Okay.
You know, which everybody who knows my music knows Flowline Records because that's what I still rep till this day. And I started making music with him and kind of drifted away from the Nap and Smokey thing.
So after the Nap and Smokey, you jumped in full-fledged with Flowline.
Well, you know, at first I was just writing with Perry. I remember he was staying at my house for like a week, and we went and garbage picked like speakers and a CD player and shit. Oh no, we had garbage picked a CD player and like an equalizer, and then we went to his house and we took his sister Melanie's speakers. We took her speakers. She was cool with it. She was there. And, you know, we said we were going to use them.
So
and
you just robbed the sister's
Nah,
speakers?
nah, man. We spoke to her. We told her, like, we were going to take the speakers. And we went back to my apartment, which at the time I had moved a few blocks away, which was considered Franklin Square. And we were just writing up in my room. Yeah, with the...
So after you got these smuggled speakers and you got up in there and started up, that would have been the original Flowline.
No. The original Flowline, Perry, he had Flowline.
So he had Flowline established, came to you, and was like, "I want you to be on the team."
He had Flowline established. Yeah, he started Flowline.
Okay.
You know, he started it. Flowline, he started. And I wouldn't say he came to me. I kind of came to him because I would always be like, yeah, like, you know, I want to be down with Flowline. Like, I want to, you know, and yeah, I was a little kid. And then I remember after the speaker incident and we, you know, garbage picked the shit and we were up in my room writing and spitting and we were walking out of my apartment and we were still talking about it. And he was like, yo, he's like, you know what? He's like, you're Flowline. Like, you know, so and I remember that shit made my day. I was really happy. So now Flowline is created. You and Perry, you guys make any mixtapes? You guys do anything? No. You know, I'll give you the rundown of Flowline real quick. It was me and Perry. We were writing songs, and Perry got locked up. And when he was locked up, I started rapping with Arsenal and Close Range, who, you know, were a few blocks from me, and I went to school with them and shit. Or I went to school with Arsenal, and it was the three of us, and Perry was still locked up. And he had people originally in the group. I think the guy's name was Black Chris or something like that, which I never met him or anything like that. I never heard any of his music. And, you know, I don't know what happened with him. But we started writing music, the three of us. Perry was locked up. And then my cousin Sal, you know, he was rapping with Aries, you know. So the two of them were internal intelligence. And we kind of joined the two groups. So it was Flowline Double I. And anybody who listened to it in high school, anybody who knew my music in high school knew it together like that. Flowline Double I. And, you know, we kind of just were doing what we were doing. It was me, Arsenal, Close Range, Swigger, Easy, and Perry was locked up. And then Perry came back around. Arsenal and Close Range moved upstate.
Okay.
So it was just me, Perry, Swigger, and Easy, and then that's when Ray came into the mix. One of mine and Perry's friends, Ray Vaughn, who grew up in Elmont with us, you know, we called him Lips, and then it was like the five of us. It was me, Perry, Lips, Swigger, and Easy, you know, and then the five of us were just recording a lot of songs. That's, you know, we never
recorded. You put them out?
I mean, we would put them on the Music MySpace back when the Music MySpace was hot, but that's it. You know, we never, you know, we would burn CDs on the computer and give them to our friends and stuff, but it was never like a fully serious thing.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't anywhere as serious as it is right now. You know, because it can't be any more serious right now.
So now, exactly, that's what I want to get at. How did it become so serious? What inside of you kicked off that made you want to go on this full-fledged and actually take Flowline to the next level?
Okay, well, what happened was Flowline kind of broke apart, you know? We just all went separate ways and we weren't doing music together anymore. And back in 2010, it was actually like the last song we recorded as Flowline. It was my cousin Sal had brought me here, and I met Phil, who is my producer now and my manager now, and we recorded a song called Epidemic Movement.
Okay.
And it's funny that it was the last song we recorded as Flowline, because the whole concept of the song was that Flowline's back. You know, the chorus was like, we headed straight to the top and we ain't gonna stop. Please don't try to hold my back. This is the start of an epidemic movement, so get used to it, bitch, cause Flowline's back. So we made a song saying that like we were back, and it was the last song we did as Flowline. And we did that song, and then I had decided to start working on my music solo by myself, because I was still serious about it and no one else was really writing. And Phil was making a lot of beats, and he helped me with my first mixtape, File 420. We recorded that, you know, up in my room back on Lexington.
The original File 420.
The original File 420. We recorded that up in my room on Lexington. And he engineered it. He made some of the beats on it. And it was really just me and him doing all the work. And, you know, I had Perry on a song. I had my boy Chavo on a song, you know, who was my best friend, like, throughout high school and stuff like that. And I still consider him a best friend. I had him on some songs. Who else did I have on? So I had my boy Danny on a song, who's one of my closest friends, you know, from high school. I talk about him on the new record, too, in Ambition. When I say every time I talk to Danny, man, I always call him Kiddo. You know, that's Danny was on the original File 420. I can't really think who else was on it. I think it was. I know Perry was on it. I know Chavo was on it. I know. Oh, and then Epidemic Movement was on the original File 420.
Was it now?
It was. Yeah, that song was on the original File 420, and it was me. It was Phil. It was Aries and my cousin Sal. It was the four of us, and I think that those were all the people I had featured on File 420. The original.
Now let's fast forward in time a little bit to now. Nowadays, what is it? What's your projects that you're working on nowadays? What's the latest project that you just dropped?
The latest project I just dropped is File 420, page 2.
Okay. Now let's hear a little bit about File 420, page 2. What was your, let's say, what was the whole goal? Let's get at.
The whole goal was to finish File 420, because that first mixtape never got released. You know, there was some problems that me and Phil had ran into. It wasn't anything between me and Phil. You know, it's always been all love between me and Phil. There was never a problem between me and him. There was just personal problems for both of us going on at the same time. You know, I was in and out of jail and you know, rehab and shit like that. I had a problem with drugs and alcohol, and we never got to finish it. We never got to release it. So what I wanted to do with File 420, page 2, was finish it. Some of the music on File 420, page 2, was supposed to be on File 420.
And now it finally ended up getting light and air breathed into it.
Right.
On page 2.
Right.
Now on page 2, what are some of the ones that were from the original, from the Catacombs, from the old vault?
Right off the bat, the intro. The first verse on the intro, I dropped bombs. I wrote that when I was 16 years old. 16 years old, and that I was holding on to record on the original File 420, and we didn't record the original File 420 until I was 19, you know? And I'm 23 now.
So you wrote it at 16 and finished it at 19. So 3 years the first song took.
3 years? No, I wrote it at 16. I wrote the song at 16, the intro and the first verse. I wrote the second verse when I was 19.
Okay.
And I didn't record it until I was 23.
Oh, so it took a while.
Took a real long time. Yeah.
And now on this new CD, what are some of the songs that maybe the listeners should get into? Start to listen, some of the meanings behind it. Some of the ones that you feel in your heart are your favorite within your own mixtape.
Well, I'd have to go with Ambition. You know, even though Ambition is, you know, that's the name of the original song that beat is used for. It's a Meek Mill's song. Actually, it's a Wale song because his record was called Ambition, and he had Meek Mill and Rick Ross on it. You know, they had the MMG team on it, and the hook is very, the hook that I have on that song is a rendition of the original hook. I think that song has a lot of meaning. You know, towards the end of the second verse, you can hear the emotion in my voice, and it's just a real powerful song. You know that, and then the very last song on File 420, page 2, Spiritual Warfare. You know that also has a lot of
I'm about to murder this shit, yeah, I'm a beast. I'm sick of selling drugs, sick of running the streets.
But that's on the deeper, more personal side of the music.
Alright, so what are some of the things that we could look forward to in the future?
There's a lot of things for the fans to look forward to in the future. I got the new record that I'm working on right now, Say You Know. Look out for Say You Know, that shit's coming out real soon. I'm gonna have a video coming out for the song Say You Know.
Okay.
That's on the record. I got t-shirts coming out. You know, I got t-shirts for guys. I got t-shirts for girls. I got thongs and booty shorts for the girls too. So, you know, we're going to do a little advertisement. And, you know, there's, look forward to future collaborations. Look forward to hearing some of the nastiest beats, some of the filthiest beats. Look forward to a lot. There's a lot. Just stay tuned. You know, there's a lot to look forward to.
Well, it seems like you're excited, and I'm seeing like you're getting everybody else excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of new shit coming real soon. You know, just stay tuned. Look out for new songs. Look out for new videos. Look out for the clothes, future collaborations, dope beats. Just look out for it all. Kid Smokey.
You hear it first on Dutch Cushman TV. Yeah. I'm out. The Cushman with the Kid Smokey, and we'll catch you later.
All right, my dude. Thank you very much for having me.
Anytime.